Welcome back everyone. You are watching me on PW IELTS Prep. I am Divya Dagar, your IELTS expert. Today in this video we are going to talk about the IELTS speaking. Personally, I do find this module is a bit challenging as well as interesting. Why? Because here you will have a chance to meet examiner as a person. This entirely speaking test gonna be a face-to-face interaction, and that too on one-on-one. Means that when you're going to take your test, you will be invited in an examination hall where you will only find you and your examiner sitting in front of each other, and he'll be asking you question and you'll be answering. So here you need to have some basic understanding whenever you're going to take your actual test. Number one, you should know that there is no difference. No matter you are preparing for the academic training or you are preparing for the general training, IELTS speaking is absolutely same for both these students. Not only this, the entire examination will hardly take 14 minutes. Means that you will not be asked to speak more than 14 minutes for the entire test. And in these 14 minutes, you will be evaluated from 3 different parts. The speaking part 1, speaking part 2 and speaking part 3. Now let us discuss all these parts in detail. Well, the speaking part 1, where you are going to spend 4 to 5 minutes, and here examiner will ask you directly 6 to 8 questions. But before that, let us discuss everything in detail. So before starting the speaking part 1, the examiner is going to introduce him or herself, and he will be asking you to introduce your name. Moreover, he will be doing some formalities like checking your ID card or checking your identification, the other stuff. After that, he will introduce. Now let's start with the speaking part 1, where exactly you are going to spend 4 to 5 minutes. In these 4 to 5 minutes, examiner is going to ask you 6 to 8 questions. Well, all these questions are planned. They are the lined up question. Means the examiner will introduce you a topic, and based on that topic, he will be asking you 3 to 4 questions. For example, examiner has said, okay, let's talk about hometown. So he will have 3 to 4 questions lined up for that. What is your hometown? How often do you visit your hometown? Do you think your hometown is a good place to live? And how many changes you have seen in your hometown from last 10 years? So this is how the examiner will introduce 2 to 3 topics, and in all, he will be asking you 6 to 8 questions. Now the purpose to have this basic question answer, just to see when the questions are easy and the answers are already with the student, so how confidently and comfortably the student can speak in English language. Whereas the speaking part 2 is all about cue card. So this is a short talk that you will be asked to do on the spot, but here examiner will give you 1 minute prep time. Don't understand it? Let us discuss in detail. Well, the speaking part 2 is all about cue card, where the examiner will give you or hand over a cue card to you, where you will see there will be a topic, and based on that topic you will have 3 to 4 bullet points. And then after, examiner will provide you the pencil and a paper and allow you for 1 minute so that you can make notes on a given topic. As soon as you are done with your 1 minute, the examiner will ask you to start speaking on the same topic. Of course, you can use your notes, you can refer to your notes, but make sure you are using your notes to make point or explain the points. Do not read them. So here the examiner will ask you to speak for at least 2 minutes on the same topic. Most of the students find this part bit challenging because they are not able to speak for 2 minutes, or maybe they have points but they are not able to organize. So for that, we have so many strategies that we are going to share soon with you. Talking about the speaking part 3, where you will have question based on speaking part 2 only. So the question, let's suppose if you got in the speaking part 2, okay, describe me the party that you have been to, whose party it was, where party was held, and what you did at the party, and explain what you like, whether you liked the party or disliked. This is how you will be speaking in the speaking part 2. But the same topic will go further in the speaking part 3, where the question will become quite mature and the examiner will ask your generalized opinion. Here, the speaking part 2 is all about your personal experience, where you are going to share what you did, how you enjoyed. Whereas the speaking part 3 will encourage you to come up with your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts on it. Now there are 4 criteria that you need to keep in mind, and even the examiner is going to evaluate all these answers based on these. First, fluency and coherence. Second, pronunciation. Third, vocabulary. Last but not the least is your grammar. All 4 of these, are equally important, as they all hold 25% of the marks. So I won't say which one is more important and less important. So better you prepare yourself accordingly and keep in mind all these 4 criteria. Now what is fluency and coherence? Let us understand this. Fluency will not ask you to speak without pauses, of course not. It's just that you need to speak naturally, easily and clearly so that examiner can easily understand what you're trying saying. Same as with the coherence, whatever you are speaking, not only you are speaking easily and naturally, but also you are connecting all the points logically. In short, whatever you are saying making sense. Second is your pronunciation. Well, let me just tell you here, pronunciation has nothing to do with your accent. So keep in mind that pronunciation means to have clarity. Also, you need to use intonation and modulation while speaking. Avoid speaking like a machine or in a flat tone. That can be a bit monotonous. So make sure when you are speaking, not only you are clear, but yes, you are using your emotions. If you are saying something happy, you are sounding happy. If you are asking some question, you are sounding like you are asking a question. Third is your vocabulary. Well, whenever I discuss vocabulary in my classes, so most of the students do come with these queries, ma'am, this is, one of the biggest problem. I don't have words, I don't have good words. So let me tell you here, the first and foremost thing that you need to keep in mind, that clear communication. Make sure whatever you are saying, you are easy to convey that. Secondly, you may have some fancy words to decorate your language, but here we do not want you to speak like a professor where you are using so many technical or scientific words. Only the purpose here to use synonyms. IELTS speaking is absolutely a productive task where examiner is looking at how creative and productive you are when you are speaking an English language. So if you don't know the good or fancy words, that's okay. We can learn them by the passage of time, but the main purpose is to avoid repetition. Make sure you are not repeating the same word again and again in your examination. Last but not the least is your grammatical structure. Here again, all these questions have been designed to see the command on tenses. So keep the formula in your mind, present, past, future, and for that, listening to the question is really, really important. Make sure you are listening to the question so well so that you can understand in which tense the examiner is asking you the question and accordingly you can answer. Now, apart from these, there are few things that you need to understand. When I say IELTS is absolutely a productive task where you need to come up with your creativity and your productivity, so here you will not be assessed based on knowledge and intelligence you already have. No matter what topic you have got and you have how facts and factuals you will have, this will not give you an extra marks. So if you are cooking the story on the spot, that's absolutely okay. At the same time, examiner will not ask you to be an expert in a particular subject, or you will not be even asked any subjective question. Or in any case, if they have asked you any subjective question, again, you need not to be an expert on that. So answer whatever you know, whatever the basic knowledge you have related to the topic, you can easily give that answer. You will not be assessed based on the content. Only one thing that examiner will look forward to, English language skill. Now there are some tips that you need to follow. While answering the question, do not memorize your answer. See, they are experts, they are trained, so they can easily understand, well, this answer is not natural one and this is something that you have memorized. So here you need to avoid giving memorized answer. Believe in yourself. Another thing that you need to keep in mind, do not use big and unfamiliar words. Well, here, for the sake of impressing the examiner, if you will start using the words where you are not clear, so here you may do some mistakes. Either you will start mispronouncing those words, or maybe you can use those words at the wrong context. So better you avoid using words which you are not clear with. Third, don't worry about your accent. Here, you need not to change your accent. We all are having the right accent. It's just that you need to keep in mind that whatever you are saying, it should be clear. The examiner should not pay any extra attention or the efforts to understand what you are saying. Now, another thing that you need to keep in mind, extend your answer. Well, the entire examination, the entire speaking examination is to evaluate that how good you are when you're speaking in English language. So here, no one line or one word answer will be entertained. So whenever you are speaking, just have this in your mind that examiner is going to evaluate the words or the sentences that you are going to speak. So give him or her a lot of chance so that he can see that how good you are when you are speaking in English language. So here, use the IELTS practice material along with these 10 ideas to boost your confidence. You will have no trouble getting the band score that you are looking for. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.